Hey, hey, hey. Be nice. Be nice. Come on, guys. Let's be nice here. Today, we are putting the final nails in the coffin when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks trading Quinn Hughes away to Minnesota and the Detroit Red Wings' role in all of the conversations. Now, you might be wondering, why is this even a topic? Lego, what are you doing going out there and connecting Quinn Hughes to a team that was in the running by all accounts? Everybody was talking about Detroit getting in there, potentially sending over a package. What could a comparable deal look like for the actual deal that went down? And even yesterday, we already spoke about apparently why it was the Detroit Red Wings could not get a Quinn Hughes trade done. To sum it up in 2 sentences, so you don't need to watch this 9-minute video, Vancouver wanted a left-handed defenseman who was young and who could step into the lineup, who could progress long-term. And the Red Wings weren't willing to give that up. Never gonna give you up Simon Edvinsson. They wanted to send over Axel Sandin Pellikka. Vancouver's already got Mancini, Villander. They already have Philip Hronek too. They were getting rid of Quinn Hughes, who's a lefty. They had too many righties. They didn't need ASP. They wanted left, specifically. And for the Detroit Red Wings, getting rid of Simon Edvinsson, while it's true Quinn Hughes would be an upgrade, I think he'd be an upgrade on most defensemen in the NHL. It was too big a risk to trade away Edvinsson only to have Quinn Hughes walk 2 seasons later. So, that's the entire situation over there. It makes a lot of sense. But now we are talking about the Detroit Red Wings media and what some of the folks on here had to write about and what some of the folks in the organization had to say about this situation. I'm going to leave a link in the description to this article by Helene St. James on the Detroit Free Press. The Red Wings were in on Quinn Hughes. Here's why they bulked. Folks, it's bulking season. I know, it's spelled differently. Anyways, the article goes out there and talks about how Quinn Hughes was traded over to the Minnesota Wild, and hey, there are the comments from Patrick Kane that Quinn Hughes is one of the special players in the league that can take over a game individually. This is the actual trade went down here. Marco Rossi, Zeev Buium, Liam Ogren, and a 2026 first-round pick. St. James writes here, that's a high price, but the Wings might have paid it had Hughes been willing to commit to re-signing. His current contract runs through 2027, so he's eligible to be extended starting July 1st, but Hughes did not agree to doing that. So no Hughes for the Wings still. They famously passed on him in the 2018 draft, taking Filip Zadina at 6, while the Canucks grabbed Hughes at number 7. He has been a thorn in their side ever since. Now, quick aside, just because I wanted to get some history in there, yes, it is true. We were chronicling the stories of this 2018 draft back when it happened. In fact, if you go over to YouTube, you search Quinn Hughes, you search Lego Rocks 99, you search draft, and then you search 7th overall, and then you search 2018. That's, I think, the sweet spot when you'll be able to see Vancouver actually taking the guy. Let's see, does the video pop up? Ah, yes, here it is. The Vancouver Canucks have drafted Quinn Hughes. I was ecstatic, over the moon ecstatic that this guy slipped from wherever it was, 4th, 5th overall, all the way to 7. Might I remind you, Red Wings fans, Filip Zadina was unanimously ranked number 3. The fact that he was available at number 6 was seen as a bargain in its own right, and the only reason he was there was because Montreal and Arizona decided, hey, we need centers. We don't want to take the consensus top picks. We want to get a guy who could play in the middle. It set the stage perfectly for Vancouver to take Quinn Hughes. And don't worry, my memory might be fading a little bit these days, but I was in grade 12 of high school in this year, so I remember this one pretty well. Helene St. James does do her part, though, saying, yeah, the Red Wings passed on him. They took Zadina. Zadina stunk. And Quinn Hughes has been a generational defenseman. We saw firsthand how tough he is to defend the other night at the blue line, the way he moves, the way he buys time, shakes and bakes up there, Kane said. You hear a lot of rumors, and Red Wings were a part of that too, so I was definitely following to see what was going to happen. Now, this is what Todd McLellan went out there and spoke about in regards to this situation. He doesn't specifically talk about Quinn, but he does talk some substance about defense. Wings coach Todd McLellan said that he and GM Stevie Y talk daily about various aspects of the team. Steve and I talk every day multiple times throughout the days, and a lot of it are spent talking about our team. Our jobs as a coaching staff is to get the most out of players, the players that we have. It's working for some. Others, we haven't gotten enough out of it. The one thing I've learned in this league, especially around Christmas, is that everybody is like Santa Claus. They all have a wish list, but it doesn't exist. The Wings haven't had a Norris Trophy winner in their lineup since 7-time winner Nick Lidstrom retired in 2012. How much impact did Lidstrom have on the Wings, McClellan said. He won multiple Norris trophies. But you don't have to win a Norris to have an impact on the team. I think Seider and Simon and Benny and even Axe, in the now and in the future, are going to have an impact on our team without winning the trophy. There's a lot of good defensemen in the league. And that's it. He doesn't directly go out there and address the Quinn Hughes situation or the addition of a guy like Quinn Hughes, but he does say, when it comes to this team, yes, it's true, they don't have any Norris-winning guys in the lineup. Maybe Seider could get in there soon. It depends on if his point production can explode at some point. But there are enough good defensemen that exist on the team that will have an impact in the future. And it's kind of funny. In the future, eh? Ben Sherratt, in the future. Those two phrases may not actually seem like they fit well together in the puzzle that is the Detroit Red Wings lineup. Let's just do a little bit of a check. Ben Sherratt is 34 years old. Is this guy really going to be a part of the Red Wings' future? I don't know. Seider, Axel Sandin, Pellikka, Edvinsson, they are. And you could even say Albert Johansson, who I admit he has had a very rough season this year, but hey, he is still young. He can still get better. He can still improve and become a part of this Red Wings' future. But I think that does lend itself nicely to talking about the Edvinsson situation here and why it was not really ideal for the Wings to step up and trade away the assets that Minnesota did to get this deal done. The price was high, and Vancouver wanted a specific mold of a left-handed guy to play on their roster and progress in the long term. Simon Edvinsson would have done that, but for Vancouver and what it is that they were looking for, didn't seem like Red Wings hockey was willing to part with that. They wanted to get rid of ASP. So with that, I leave you adieu, because the Quinn Hughes saga, potentially going over to Detroit, I know that he said in his post-game presser that it's nice being in Minnesota because it's near Michigan, but based off of everything that was said over the past 24 hours, it does not seem like Quinn and Detroit is going to be a dream come true. Either he stays in Minnesota, either he goes over to New Jersey anyway, or if by some miracle he decides, hey, I kind of want to play for the Red Wings, I guess we're all going to be in for a big surprise 2 years from now. But we'll get there when we get there, right? Let's see if the Minnesota Wild can win a cup or something first with Kaprizov, with Hughes, with these big money players on their payroll at the moment. With that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Red Wings story about the Quinn Hughes situation, the relevance that the Wings have in this entire trade saga? Because they did have a piece in it. They were involved. And even though they may not have been willing to shell out the assets, there still is a part of the Red Wings fan base that I would say that is grieving that they weren't able to get this done. But with all this in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Quinn Hughes and Todd McLellan commentary over here, talking about defense, talking about guys that can have an impact on the team? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.